Okay, so you may have heard that President Trump reimposed and expanded a policy called the Global Gag Rule in one of his first actions in office. And you may think you know what that means, but chances are you don't. Because in addition to being dangerous and disingenuous, it's a policy designed to confuse. So what does the policy do? Proponents say the Global Gag Rule ensures that U.S. taxpayer funding doesn't support abortion overseas. Actually, the Global Gag Rule is not and has never been about U.S. taxpayer funding for abortion. The Global Gag Rule doesn't put strings on U.S. funds because those strings are already there, harmful as they are. It puts strings on all the funding that doesn't even come from the U.S. Foreign organizations receiving U.S. global health assistance are denied the right to use their own non-U.S. funds to provide information, referrals, or services for legal abortion, or to advocate for the legalization of abortion in their country. These restrictions diminish the effectiveness of global health investments. Some have responded by saying that the U.S. shouldn't be paying for family planning or global health overseas anyway. Well, setting aside the benefits of global health investments for individuals and communities in developing countries, as well as Americans here at home, and that foreign aid makes up only about 1% of the federal budget, and the fact that it's the ethical thing to do, the Global Gag Rule does not cut any global health assistance from the U.S. aid budget. All funding denied to foreign NGOs that refuse to comply with the Global Gag Rule, organizations that were awarded the funding because they were the most qualified providers in their communities, ends up being reprogrammed to other organizations who are willing to deny patients access to comprehensive services and also may be inexperienced. Global health assistance is effective and we get a bang for our buck, especially for family planning. Investments in family planning create significant savings in other areas like education, public health, and water and sanitation. Even if you disagree, the Global Gag Rule does nothing to change U.S. spending on aid. It just makes our aid programs way less effective. Trump magnified this harmful effect by expanding the policy from family planning assistance to all U.S. global health assistance. Now, nearly half of all U.S. bilateral economic assistance is caught in the red tape of the Global Gag Rule. He also renamed it Protecting Life in Global Health Assistance. That's rich. Now the Global Gag Rule is forced on NGOs working on health issues like HIV, malaria, tuberculosis, nutrition, water, sanitation, and hygiene. In the past, the policy led to less access to contraception, higher rates of unintended pregnancies, and women dying from pregnancy or childbirth-related complications. Oh, and yes, more unsafe abortions, as well as a loss of community health staff and clinics, among many other health impacts. This was back when the Global Gag Rule covered a fraction of the funding it does now. With scores of NGOs now navigating the expanded policy for the first time, the expected impact is much worse. In addition to poor health outcomes around the world, the ripple effect of the gag rule will damage health partnerships, stifle communication between providers, and threaten global health security. All this for what? If your answer is protecting life, you must still be confused.